Alright fellas, here we're back in Pokemon Masters, and today we're going to be looking at Fall, Iris, and Naganadel for two reasons. One, they are going to be releasing, re-releasing on the Fall Seasonal Select Scout, not Select, but Seasonal Spotlight Scout, whatever they're called. As well, the second reason being that this is the day right before I started uploading consistently on this channel for Pokemon Masters content. I technically uploaded, I think, my first video back on October 12th, but Fall Iris and her release, as well as my first ever Pokemon Masters video on this channel, was on October 16th, 2022. And, well, may as well, for the, the year showcase, since Iris is re-releasing on this Scout, may as well look at her from both that aspect as well as the fact that she technically started me on this journey for Pokemon Masters content. Ever since that day, pretty much, I have gained nearly 120,000 total views, as well as over 730 new subscribers, and I'm very appreciative of that. I honestly am. The moment that I can start doing this and start getting paid for it is going to be amazing, not because I'm greedy or anything like that, but because I can take the money I earn from this channel, invest it back into this account, pull new sync pairs, and upload more content and help more people out. That is honestly my biggest goal for this channel, is to be able to financially, manage myself enough to where I can pull new sync pairs, upload new videos on this channel more consistently, make better content, etc. Anyway, whatever. I know I shouldn't have probably put that in the intro and whatever else, but hey, I don't care. I'm very appreciative of all of the support I've received. Over just a year, I have gained so much, and I really appreciate it. But let's go ahead and look at where it all began, right? With Fall Iris and Naganadel here. This sync pair got a lot of good ability. She was the first Poison Zone character, as well as still the only Poison Zone character, though she has been mostly outclassed by characters like Oleana. Mostly because Oleana is better synergizing with the other poison attackers, more so than Iris is, because most of them are physical, right? Like, you want to look at someone like Roxy, Looker, or Emma, they're all physical attackers. They benefit far more from Oleana and her rebuff than they do from Iris and her zone. But I don't think that really disqualifies Iris too much. I think we can still get some pretty good usage out of her, both as a damage dealer and a nuker, as well as a character that's able to help out others. So yeah, let's go ahead, hop into some battles, and see just how well Iris has aged over the course of a year. Alright, here's our first battle versus Marshall. We've got Signasuit Brendan as well as Lucian here to provide some special defense debuffs for Iris here. So, Iris's kit mostly revolves around having the enemy poisoned, Poison Zone activated, as well as many special defense debuffs as you can get. So, we go for the poison here because she does have Toxic Chance 2, I think it is, in the grid. So, we get that 30% chance there to poison all enemies with the acid, and we land it, so that's nice. And we just use Brendan here and Lucian in order to do some very fast special defense debuffing so we can max out her nuke as fast as possible. Obviously, it's a juice setup. Obviously, it's on type. We'll have two battles that are not on type, right? As well as not as juice setups, so don't worry about that. It's not going to be too big of an issue. I just wanted to showcase her in her best scenario, on type and whatnot. She'll decimate any on type stage anyway. It's not a big problem, even without having super OP special defense debuffers. Bring someone like Erica, who has a 50% chance to special defense debuff, or again, Lucian, who is a general pool unit, and you'll be just fine, right? You'll be able to KO any stage with absolute ease. Even at 1 out of 5, she'll be, just fine for the most part. So yeah, not too bad. You do have to rely on the acid and toxic chance overall in order to get as much damage as possible with the, the fastest chance to get your poison. So that's a little bit annoying there, but it's not overall a big issue, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. So yeah, there is a Hyper Beam here. As you can see, the Hyper Beam, they do about 15,000 damage for the most part. It's pretty insane, right? Pretty insane. Iris can definitely do a lot of damage, 21,000 on the side there. And then we nuke the middle here. They have -6 on the special defense. They have the poison up. We also have Poison Zone up for ourselves. Pretty solid nuke, right? She does have Smarty Pants for the Sync nuke, as well as Brain Teaser for her DPS. 73,000 damage. Very, very good. Obviously, though, again, on type. She'll decimate any on type stage with whether she's 1 out of 5 or 3 out of 5. Obviously, my Iris is 5 out of 5 due to sheer luck, but it doesn't really matter. You don't really need a 5 out of 5 Iris. I didn't even want her 5 out of 5. I just got lucky. So, yeah. It's pretty ironic that this is the specific sync pair that I would get to 5 out of 5, though, especially by accident. But yeah, there's the grids and whatnot for Lucian, as well as Brendan and Iris. Iris, she does have a couple problems, but we'll go over those in the other segments and whatnot. But yeah, overall, very, very strong damage dealer and nuker on type especially. Alright, here we are versus Fire Week. Grimsley, we've got Signature Lisa and Lucian here to partner up with Iris and just help her out with her overall nuke, and off type, of course. Lucian is probably your best special defense debuffer in terms of a non-limited area. Overall, he's just a good one in general too, so that's very, very nice. The biggest problem here in this setup with Iris specifically is that she is the only damage dealer, which isn't the worst thing ever, so that's not too bad. But it's also that her toxic chance, you have to activate it pretty much on the first turn, which requires some resets. That was the same problem I faced with Marshall, and probably pretty much the same problem I'm going to face throughout the entirety of this video, that you do have to pretty much land that, toxic chance on the first turn, mostly in a stadium format, right? Otherwise, it's not really too bad. It's not a big issue. But yeah, you do have to worry about that. So we go for Signature Lisa's sync move here, get that support EX in there, as well as go for her trainer move in order to max out Iris's crit here. And we just keep debuffing their special defense and defense with, and attack, sorry. Attack and special defense with Lucian. They do sadly go for the X special defense all, which is quite annoying, but it doesn't really matter too much by the end of it. We do have to get a quad Q in, but that's about the extent of the problems that we may have. So yeah, gotta be careful about that. So yeah, overall, not too big of an issue, but could have been worse, could have been better, whatever, right? The poison is definitely very, very nice, though, for getting some small shift damage in on the, sides and whatnot, right? Because they are poisoned, so they're going to take damage every time they use a move, which is very, very nice, especially because they don't have the biggest amount of HP. As you can see, we did pretty good damage on that sync move, but we did not KO because of strength and whatnot. But thankfully, Quad Q Hyper Beam does some very, very good damage, 8,000, not bad damage at all. So do keep that in mind. We maxed out our special defense debuffs there with Lucian, KO the enemy Lucario with that was going to use the Earthquake. Poison Zone runs out, we use Hyper Beam, still about 8,000 damage, which isn't too bad. And we're able to KO with the sync move. Almost dies to the poison, but sadly it is not. So yeah, there it is, off-type Iris as the only damage dealer slash nuker, just with a support and a tech character. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. Definitely not the easiest nuke, I guess you could say, because, there's characters out now that can just do 500,000 damage by shitting on the enemy. Not the easiest setup, but still not hard to do really too much. So you go, we got Iris as a decent enough off-typer. Definitely does lack kind of in the zone department because she is kind of gauge greedy with Hyper Beam, and she also doesn't really apply too much utility outside of special defense debuffs, I guess. You'll see that in the next showcase, because we do use her with Oleana for maxed out damage from her and Oleana. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop over to that battle. Alright, here we are versus Ice Week Chantal. We've got Skylafall, Iris, and Oleana. This is pretty much just to maximize Iris's damage. We do use Oleana for the nuking here, though I probably realistically should have just used Iris, but I wanted to get in some relatively decent showcasing with Oleana too, because she's the only poison rebuff character, as well as being able to apply some good damage with her gunk shots and whatnot, benefit from the poison zone. The only thing that I'm not too big on is that the fact that they don't synergize very well. They really don't, because Iris debuffs special defense with the acid, and Oleana's a physical attacker, and Oleana debuffs speed attack and special attack, none of which Iris really cares for, So they don't really synergize the best outside of the rebuff and zone, so you do have to account for that, but you are still able to get some pretty solid damage in here, especially with my Oleana only being 1 out of 5, so I don't have to worry too much about doing an insane amount of damage, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. We use Skyla here for some potion healing, pretty much. That's about it, really. We use Iris here, obviously, for some defensive debuffs, so we can get some faster debuffs in for Oleana's nuke. Mostly at the start here, because once you do use your second Venom Drench, that pretty much just makes it so you don't have to do any more debuffing, unless, of course, you want to. So we just go ahead and go for Hyper Beam damage here. The rebuff definitely does help out with the damage there, both on Oleana and, of course, on Iris. So that's very, very nice. Getting in some solid damage, Hyper Beams. And I'm pretty sure we go for a gunk shot here. I forget. Yeah, we do. So we almost go down to some attacks here, but it doesn't really end up mattering too much. Thankfully, because of Iris being able to apply the special defense debuffs, the enemy buffing for special attack doesn't make too big of a difference. So we go ahead and go for Oleana's nuke here, which is the NAF power play, obviously, so we need as many debuffs as possible. Use the nuke, 11,000 damage, not the greatest, but Hyper Beam is able to finish it off for us. Probably would have been a good idea to go for the move gauge boost there, but it's fine. It's not a big issue. Then we pretty sure we KO them with Hyper Beam, because we do have the Smarty Pants on Iris. or not Smarty Pants, Brain Teaser. This is the different grid that I have set up where I got Honor Roll on Acid, as well as Sharp Entry, Ramp Up on the Trainer move, as well as not picking up any of the nuking stuff. I just picked up Brain Teaser. That was it. So, yeah. Overall, not the best win ever, but I mean, it still works, right? Especially against these lower tiered stadiums. Sadly, I did beat that stage, so no more stadium battles unless I want to beat stadium, but I didn't really have too many ideas left to use Iris anyway, because I don't think I have any more special attacking poison characters that are like really relevant anyway, so yeah. Let's go ahead and just hop into, I guess, Legendary Arena. I'm not sure who we'll face, but we'll go ahead. We'll figure it out, right? We'll figure it out. So yeah, there are the grids and whatnot. Let's go ahead, hop into a Legendary Arena, and see just how well Iris is able to fare in that environment. Alright, here we are versus Tapu Bulu. We've got Aaron and Roxy. I was gonna do Yuxi, but it's Iris is weak to Psychic, so that's just not gonna work out. And I was gonna also do Cobalion, but I'm pretty sure its poison resistance starts out very high, so we wouldn't really be able to make much headway there with that either. So I just figured we'll face Bulu because its second phase is weak to poison, so we can make some work with that. May have a little bit of gauge trouble with this team, but it shouldn't be the worst thing ever. It should be fine, mostly. Okay. We can keep going for some defend orders as well. I would like some poison at least. There's the poison. That's good. That's good enough for some damage. It's not the best multiplier because we don't have poison zone, nor do we have any special defense debuffs, but hey, whatever. Obviously, we're not going to get the full nuke damage with Iris here, but mostly these are budget scenarios anyway, so it's not really going to be your goal is to get crazy setups. Let's keep going for these defend orders, though, just so we can get some good heals in, or get some defensive buffs in. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. I wish Aaron was a little bit more speedy, but sadly not. It's not a big problem, though. There's the green thumb. That's fine. Let's go ahead and go for the poison jab. Ah, crap, I should have done that. Oh, well, that's fine. That's fine. That's not a big issue. There we go. Okay. And we should be able to KO it with the next few sets of poison jabs and hyper beams, and then we can save the nuke for the next phase. Shouldn't be too bad. Should be a bigger problem. Okay. There is the lack of a crit. I should probably max out her crit. That would probably be a good idea. Did you flinch? You could flinch. Yes, thank you very much. Okay. Okay. Can set up the poison zone. That's fine. Not in time anyway. Okay. That's fair. Yeah, there's the poison. That's good. And now we can go for the nuke. Let's go ahead. I'll go for the heal next. There we go. Now we'll heal and go for a poison jab so we can try and get the poison on the next phase. Should have enough. This should just KO. Just outright. We get the poison. Poison zone. Poison weak. Yeah, 50,000 damage. Very easy KO. Okay, that's good. That's good. And -1 on special defense too. Definitely can't forget about that. How much damage we're going to do here? Not enough to get it down. Okay, wow. That's a lot, though. That is a lot of damage. Can I get the flinch? No flinch. That's fair. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Okay, wow. And go for the hyper beam here. And the poison zone was still up. Okay, that was good. That was good. Can I get the flinch there? Flinch? No flinch? Fair enough. Okay. But this next set of hyper beam plus poison jab should KO it anyway. It's not the most budget setup, but it's budget enough, really. Rare, so you're going to use Roxy other than with Iris. Probably. Whatever. That was the clear versus Bulu. Not too bad, honestly. Bulu is mostly just a flinch / damage stage, really, so it's not the hardest Legendary Arena, but again, honestly, I can't think of any other places you would realistically want to use Iris. Tornadus, probably. Yeah, I probably should have done Tornadus, because it does have the poison, or this, what is it? Whatever ability is, that, you know, reduces damage whenever it's not hit with a status condition. But also do consider that her status condition chances are pretty low. Her only other chance to get poison is with Toxic Chance in the grid, which I don't have equipped here on the grid, but it is in the grid. I'm pretty sure it's Toxic Chance 2, so you basically have another roll for poison. I think it's this. Yeah, Acid Toxic Chance 2. So you got a 30% chance here, plus you've got the 30% chance in your passive skills, so you can make some decent enough poison chances with that. Overall, honestly, I wouldn't say that Iris is an outright bad zone setter, but she definitely does have a lot of flaws. Low special attack is one of them. As you can see, this is with the EX level 140. only 313 special attack. That's quite low, right? It's not as low as Anniversary Steven, I don't think. But it is quite low, mostly to compensate with the fact that she does have Hyper Beam plus a multiplier on Hyper Beam, so almost as low as Anniversary Steven, but I also have level 150 on him. So yeah, overall, again, Iris is not bad. She does have the flaws such as the poison being inconsistent, gauge heavy with Hyper Beam, no real form of gauge management other than Bogo. Bogo's about her only form of gauge management, and that's only if you use Poison Zone, Poison Wish, whatever, so you do gotta consider that. Also, she doesn't really synergize too well with other poison attackers, especially not the ones that I have. Oleana's physical, right? Obviously, Emma's a physical attacker, Luca's a physical attacker. Plumeria is not a physical attacker, so they could probably work relatively well together, but I don't have her EX, so I didn't showcase her. Koga, she probably works well enough with, I would say, yeah, I'd say she probably works quite well with Koga, especially now that has the EX, so they could definitely be good partners, but they are both nukers, so realistically you're just choosing between either using Koga's nuke or Iris's nuke. Really, which one are you going to choose? But whatever, they probably could work well enough together, especially because he also does have the, whatever it is, I forget what the ability is. Is it, yeah, Mind Games. Yeah, Mind Games on Shock, so that could work well. But yeah, anyway, overall. That was the Iris, Full Iris 1 year later, I guess, showcase, whatever you want to call it. I'm still going to call it a showcase because we do have the banner coming out tomorrow. No, day after tomorrow? Day after tomorrow. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that banner. Would not summon, but hey, Full Iris will be on it, so if you really do want her that bad, this should give you a decent enough showing of what her abilities are and a decent variety of showings. So yeah, I'll see y'all later. I hope y'all enjoyed.